The top 10 ways to handle depression. How can we deal with depression? When we feel blue, we want to wallow in our misery and not get out of bed. But that doesn't mean we can't find solutions to our problems. We all have the same basic needs: sleep, food, and love. When we feel depressed, we might think that we can't function properly because of our moods, but the truth is that it's just a matter of how we react. In our lives, we all go through difficult times. Whether it's grief, loss, or depression, depression is a tough one. Here are the top 10 ways to handle depression. 1. Know the symptoms of the depression. Depression is an illness that most of us have experienced at some point in our lives, but it can be a very tricky disease to understand and diagnose. One of the most common symptoms of depression is feeling sad. However, it's not just about feeling sad. Feeling sad is a symptom of depression. Depression can also affect how a person feels about themselves, his or her relationships, and his or her ability to handle life's daily stressors. It can also make it harder to think clearly. Depression is a mental illness that affects a person's ability to think, feel and act. Most people who suffer from depression will experience a few key symptoms, but it is not always easy to recognize what is a depressive episode and what is a normal mood. There are many ways to manage depression, from medication to therapy. 2. Deal with the cause of the depression. When a person suffers from depression, it is important to deal with the cause of the problem. There are different types of depression, and each one requires a different type of treatment. If you're feeling down, there's a reason for that. The key is to make sure you don't ignore what is causing you to feel depressed. When you're experiencing a slump, we suggest making a list of your life. Think about all the things you're grateful for, and focus on them. 3. Treat your body to overcome depression. When you're feeling down, it can be tempting to ignore your body's signals. You might have a craving for that donut you promised yourself you'd eat only on weekends, or your brain might send a signal to reach for a soda when all you really want is a glass of water. But if you want to beat depression, you have to listen to what your body is telling you. A good place to start is by acknowledging the signs of a depressed mood and making time to treat your body. 4. Seek professional help for depression. To understand how depression can make you feel, think about how your emotions work in the physical realm. Imagine yourself having a headache, says Daphne Birenbaum, Ph.D. Your head hurts, but you can still move around, eat, and take care of other needs. What if the headache is so bad that you can't move or even open your eyes? You might be in a coma, where the pain is so intense that it overrides everything else. At this point, says Birenbaum, you're dealing with a major medical issue. The same can be true of depression, which is like a headache that won't go away. Sometimes the solution to depression is to seek professional help. If you feel that you need help or someone else may need help, you should make an appointment with your doctor to get help and get back on track. You can go to a therapist, a psychiatrist, a social worker, or a psychologist. These professionals are trained in helping people who are depressed. 5. Change your perspective. We've all been there. Whether we call it depression or melancholy, it's common for people to experience a low. But it doesn't mean you need to be down on yourself. You're not alone. In fact, according to the National Institutes of Health, about 6.7 million adults in the United States suffer from depression. While depression is a serious illness that requires professional treatment, there are some ways to get out of it. The first step to change your perspective is to understand that you're not alone. Then, once you realize you're not alone, you can change your attitude. If you're feeling depressed, it's easy to think that your life is over. When this happens, you need to be realistic about the situation. You've got to be able to see your situation in a positive light. This way, you'll realize that you can take action and overcome the problems. 6. Eat well and exercise. When you're depressed, your energy level may go down. If you're feeling sad or hopeless, eat foods that are high in protein like eggs, turkey, cheese, beans, yogurt, fish and low in carbohydrates like bread, pasta, rice, potatoes. Foods that are low in carbohydrates and high in protein can help lift your mood and give you more energy. Depression is often caused by low levels of serotonin and dopamine in the brain. While the exact causes of depression aren't known, research has shown that regular exercise can improve the levels of these neurotransmitters. Exercise has also been found to increase the production of the hormone oxytocin, which plays a role in reducing anxiety and stress. Other studies have found that people who eat a diet rich in fruits and vegetables are less likely to suffer from depression. 7. Maintain a good social life. While we don't recommend trying to treat depression by yourself, being around other people is the best way to avoid the loneliness that can come along with depression. We've also found that maintaining a good social life is helpful in combating depression. While we are all human and will experience feelings of sadness, depression, and loneliness from time to time, you don't have to let these feelings keep you down. Instead, take steps to maintain a good social life and connect with people on a regular basis. Remember that everyone is different when it comes to dealing with mental health, so you may need to take a different approach than someone else. You can also find support groups to help you manage your emotions and learn how to cope. 8. Spend time with people you care about. One way to handle depression is to spend time with people you care about. This is one of the easiest ways to get out of a funk. If you don't have family members around to visit or friends that are willing to hang out with you, consider volunteering at a local animal shelter, soup kitchen, or food pantry. Also, find something that you are passionate about and do it. Do not underestimate the power of having a purpose in life. If you find yourself in a down mood, try meditating, exercising, listening to music, or doing something creative, like learning a new skill or hobby. 9. Sleep well. When you're in a bad mood, sleep tends to be the last thing on your mind. But getting enough sleep can go a long way toward helping you feel better and making the rest of your day more productive. If you're depressed, a good way to get yourself out of it is to sleep well. Sleep helps your brain to regulate itself, and it improves mood and memory. So, if you want to make a change, make sure your brain is at its best by getting enough rest. It's also important to get a lot of sunlight. This will increase levels of serotonin, the happy hormone. 10. Practice gratitude. How does gratitude affect your life? Does it help you live a happier, more positive, and satisfying life? Studies suggest that when we are grateful, we are likely to be happier and less depressed. When people are asked to write a letter of gratitude to someone, the most common response is that they are happier than they were before. The act of being thankful gives us hope and reminds us of all that is good in our lives. Do you think that writing a letter of gratitude to someone can change your life? Yes, it can. It can make your life happier and healthier. If you are able to focus on the things in your life that you are thankful for, you will feel happier and less depressed. In conclusion, depression can be an extremely painful and devastating experience for many people. It's important to remember that this disease can be treated and managed. Many of the methods are effective and can help you get through your struggles. In addition, the more you learn about depression, the easier it will be to deal with it. The more you know about the illness and the various forms it can take, the more you will be able to help yourself and others dealing with it.